people from China, and etc. So I think we need to wait additional minutes, and then we'll start. So I guess we can start. So I need to share my screen. Just a second. So hello again. I'm glad to see you again in our last day of our camp. And today we've got some information about assessment, about feedback for your works, some guests, some of you send us some test project results. And of course, we check them. And Lydia prepared some feedback about them. But for now, she don't have a technical things for connecting us to Zoom. And because of that, I will read her feedback for you and of course comment. But before, information about current plan. Today, we will talk, as I said before, about problems in your test project results. We tried to make little assessment of test project, and we need to talk about the presentation model in our skill because it's important, and we will talk about some important aspects about presentations. And then we will have some official part about the ending of our camp and etc. And so we can start, I think, with information about feedback to your works. So just a second, and I will show you problems. And I need to run Android Studio for that. I will show you not all problems of this work that you sent me yesterday. I will show the most popular top list of problems of our competitors in Russia, of course, too, and in international competitions. And I think that experts and competitors need to keep in mind that that competitors got some stupid problems with the coding, with the file naming, and etc. So, for example, if we want to save some image to our application, for example, this image of a cat. I didn't check. Is everything okay with my screen, with my voice? Please give me feedback about it. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And so, if you know, if you try to, wait, why it's not copied? Just a second. Great, yeah. If you, text is small. Okay, I try to change the resolution of screen. Give me a minute. So it's better now? Yeah, great. And so often when we provide competitors with resources like images, like files, like documents and etc., of course, competitors try to save them, copy them to their test project, to their applications, like I did it before. You see in project 3, we have a cat file with the image, the cat. And now if I try to run my application, for example, in our emulator, I've got the error that that we have a wrong file name for our resource. And for example, in Russia, not many competitors know English. It's normal because we have a Russian native language, and if they see this error, for example, that the C is not valid, etc., they don't have an idea what they did wrong. And for example, in the previous versions of Android Studio, we don't have any red line like you see now near the file name. And it was a real problem for our competitors, because in the start or in the end of session, while they're copying files to their test projects, they've got this error. They can't build their application. And of course, then experts can't build them too. And after it, experts, of course, will put zeros for a session because they can't build project. And it's really a big popular error. And because some resources from a Figma, for example, we provide with uppercase letters. And for example, we've got this element logo. And if you see here in the left side of Figma, we've got the name logo. And when I try to export this file, where is it? Here's one. For example, for SVG. Hello. And you can see that it's exported with the uppercase name. And often computers just copy and paste it to this Android Studio project, and nothing works. I always recommend to competitors, if they have some error, on English, for example, they can use internet cafe for googling this information about this error and etc., or try to just translate it. And then in some lessons for competitors, for students, we also recommend to know the most popular issues about their sports. For example, this one. Okay, and for example, yesterday you sent me some of you sent me a project, and with the same error, but it was not in Android Studio, but it was like, for example, I've got resource like a normal name, like a cat, yeah. And for example, in some place in the code, you use like a LED image, UI image, and wrote like this one. It's just for example, and for example, you can see that here we've got name of image with the first uppercase letter, but in resources now we have a lowercase name of resource, and of course application can find resource with this name, and of course we've got error. We got the crashes while we're trying to open screen when we have a link to wrong resource name. It's a popular error in Russian competitions too, and I think competitors need to be how is it in English? Just a second. It's important. Yeah, they need to carefully check all the names of resources, and because they can lose many points for some screens. So it's the first problem about the naming. Next one, just a second. Many competitors, where is my layout? Yeah, many competitors, for example, from yesterday's work and competitors in Russia, also use wrong colors, for example. Why it's so important? Getting color from a Figma or from another application for sticking layouts, it's too easy. For example, I need to get the color of background. I just click to my my screen, and here we can see a background color code. Or for example, for a background for this rounded rectangle, I can see the colors here, like a filling, opacity here, and etc. And here's one. And so many competitors get color like then see. For example, in a project, I need to open screen. For example, they see constraint layout, they want to add background color for this, and they just trying to see the screen, think it's a little bit green and dark, so, and they just trying to get this color, and like this one, and of course it's wrong. Experts need to check, is this color code is the same like it was on the design? It's very important. Oh, it's a little bit same, I think. I've got to normalize. So now it's better one. For example, in yesterday's project, we also have some problems with the colors, but colors, it's very fast thing that you can add to your buttons, to your backgrounds, to your text, and etc. So please pay attention for styles guide. And maybe if you remember, Lydia, in the previous our days, showed you that we can use colors resource for define the main colors of application for the next using. It's also very useful for fast programming. Next one, many competitors didn't see that we have not default font family in applications. It's very important too, because font family give very interesting things for design, for layout, for application, and because of that, we need to be sure that we integrated our font family to our application. For example, here we've got allergy font, and here allergy sans, and etc. So computers need to use these font faces, and they must know how can they import this font family to Android Studio from, for example, OTF file. Okay, it's about fonts. It's all about styles, I guess. And if we see our where is it? Oh, I see a question. You can download font family file from a Figma. You just can see what font family is used, for example, this one. But for example, for our test project, we provide competitors with additional file for a font family. For example, where is it? Just a second, I want to show you. You can see the test project in the Russian language, and you can see the link for a font family here. So if we've got not default font, we also provide the file to this font. And here you can see the link to API, but here you can see the link for a font, and here you can see the link for a Figma layout, for this layout that we can see here now. So, and it's very important to use how to import font family to a project, because in real life, it's a real popular feature to use our not default font. So next one, if we see our assessment criteria, where is them? Yeah. We also see that we need to check count of elements on our screens. Yeah, like 7 elements, 6 elements, and etc. And so in our skill, it's very important to try and to know, where is it? To know and to try to make test project layouts in your application same as in design. And for example, many competitors, while creating this main screen, for example, first of all, they try to make all features like downloading information, adding the right thing for sliders and etc. And if they have some problems with working with the server, they spend many time and don't have some results for that. And for example, for our competitors, recommend before starting making business logic, trying to make all user interface things. For example, add all labels in the normal positions with normal size, add elements, and etc. Because in assessment criteria, we have aspects for checking user interface. And I think it's important because we make applications for users, and users need in a beautiful picture first of all, yeah, because we don't want to use application if it will be like this one without constraints and other things. So we recommend before make everything with user interface, and just after make business logic. Another interesting and good question about it's important to support dark mode or not. First of all, I want to say that I hate dark mode because every day when we create production applications, we forget about dark mode, and our applications looks like I will show you. Where is it? Why it's not works? Then they looks like this one because some operating systems and some user interface things from Android trying to change white color to a dark, and then our user interface broke, and even it's real big problem. And for example, if I remember right, 3 days ago we've got the same issue in our production project. We solved it, because, of course, but we also forget about dark mode. So we don't have any aspects in our assessment criteria about dark mode. But for our next competitions, for example, we will have national competition in the next month. We will add this assessment criteria, and of course we will check competitors' user interface results in a dark mode. So we will recommend competitors just turn off changing user interface of application to a dark mode. Maybe in the next year we can provide the screens for a normal mode and for a dark mode, and maybe it will be interesting. But before, we don't have any aspects for dark mode. Yeah, but I hate it. So okay, thank you for an interesting question. So next one, just a second, I need to see my hint. Yeah, next next recommendation for our competitors from us, from our team, is that competitor need to create all screens. Maybe not all screens with content, with business logic and etc. But they need to make, they need to show navigation. Just for example, you can see here 3 tabs, like a main page, like something with music, I guess, and with profile. And for example, if in test project we need to make this all 3 screens, but I'm a competitor, I don't have enough time for another 2 screens, so I need to just create empty screen, like a for profile. I need to write profile, and then I need to create just navigation to this empty screen, because sometimes in assessment criteria we can just check is application navigates to another screen while clicking for profile button, for example. And if competitor created this one, he got an additional point. It's very good. And okay, so first of all, you need to make all screens navigation between empty screens, for example, then create user interface with all user controls and etc. And then a computer can do a business logic for application. So next one. Many competitors have issues with creating a rounded element. Yeah, because in Android, for example, you can't just make a border radius for an element. You need to add them for a container and etc. And in iOS, we've got some issue. It was the same issue, but now we've got layer, a corner radius, and etc. But by the way, I think it's very important to know how to make rounded borders and change these borders for about the angles of these borders, yeah, like this one, yeah. So, and because in many applications, if you try to download any application in the App Store or Google Play, in most cases, you will see the rounded borders on the buttons, on the images, and etc. Because people love rounded borders, they don't like rectangle, triangles, and etc. So it's very important to know how to do it. Next one. Next, the recommendation about yesterday's test project, yesterday's result from one of competitor, which created application on Android with a Kotlin and used retrofit, so and Glide. So we think that Lydia think, and I agree with she, that this competitor tried to learn Kotlin language and tried to learn, for example, using how to use retrofit with Java lessons. So, for example, competitor use retrofit library in a Java case, and maybe it's not good. It works. It's okay. But if, for example, you use libraries in a Kotlin version, like in a Kotlin strategy, using all interesting syntaxes, sugar, and etc., you all will save many and many time. So, why it's not working? Just a second. Some problem with my. Can you give me feedback? It's okay with my voice or not? Because I had problems with my. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. And next one. And for example, for yesterday's competitor, which created application on iOS using Kingfisher for downloading images, and Lydia said that there are a very good work with UI table view with loading elements and etc. So she liked this work. I hope that this competitor knows that. Yeah. So you know that about you now. Okay. So, but you also have problems with the navigation bar, with the labels, with the titles, and etc. I guess that maybe you don't have enough time for do everything, but also it's very good result. And we see that you used URL session for getting for getting information from a server. So, and can you say why you don't use like a Llama.Fire or another libraries? They faster, I think.
Can I speak?
Yeah,
Here?
sure.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would be faster for a competition to just use URL session because it was only one single request. So I thought it would be faster to use URL session.
Yeah, it will be faster than downloading from Kakao pods.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You just need to put pod in it and go to drink a coffee, because you will have many time for updating. Yeah, I'm agree with you that for a one request, it's normal to use URL session. Maybe yeah, I'm agree. So and I didn't see some mistake with the tabs, but Lydia said that you used tabs navigation, bottom bar navigation with the wrong settings, and because of that, you've got some additional code in a Swift. So maybe you need to try to learn more about using tabs.
Thanks.
Yeah. So yesterday we've got just 2 projects, one from Android and for iOS. It's good. I thought that we will not have any projects, but that you sent us 2 projects. It's very good. Thank you for competitors. And because of that, we don't have many feedback because it's just 2 projects. So I think that it's all about the feedback for your results. Next one. Yesterday, we tried to look up assessment criteria. Where is them? Yeah, some assessment criteria that we trying to study. And for now, I want to try to spend little bit time with you for trying to assess our application that we used for testing yesterday. Oh, just a second, I need to change the screen. Where is it? The screen, yeah. So I think it's will be a good experience to see how we assess real application. For example, you can see for this test project, yeah, few sub-criteria with some aspects and etc. You can see general, onboarding, login, and etc. So first of all, I think I need to remove this one. We don't need this one. This one we don't need to. Yeah. Now we've got the marks and etc. And so first of all, you can see that we have aspects for repositories that competitor created repository for test project. So this, of course, we've got this repository because I downloaded from it, and because of that, I put full mark. In Russia, because of that, we started our skill 4 years ago. It not big. It's not many time for students and for teachers to study all technologies that competitor need to need to know in our skill. For example, before we started our skill in Russia, before 2017, there are no lessons about version control system in the colleges in Russia. So students didn't know about JIT and other things And it was a problem because in real life, in real companies, they need to use these technologies, but they don't study it in colleges. They studied in them just in universities, I think. And because of that, we added using version control system to our skill, because we want that students in the colleges will learn, and teachers will teach students how to use version control system. And for example, many students which just started to learn information about the version control system, they don't have enough experience to use, for example, terminal to put in commands like a git init, git add, git commit, and etc. And they just trying to upload this result with a zip file, zip folder. And of course, it's wrong. It's wrong way to use version control system. But in the competitions, for competitors who don't know how to upload this result normally, we recommend to just zip this work and upload directly with a web form on a web browser to a version control system, because they need to provide this result to experts for testing. And for that, we have additional aspect here that test project saved correctly and don't need to be unzipped. So, and because of that, we have this this aspect here. And wait, no, just a second. Why is Zoom not works in a browser? Oh, now it works. So next one, I think here, build it. Many competitors, as I showed you before, because of some maybe small and stupid errors like a wrong resource name, or for example, they forgot to put some syntaxes things, or for example, while they trying to press Control S button for saving, maybe they just place some wrong wrong character to this code. So after this, we can build our test project, and of course, we will have additional aspect for it. I see that our test project is built normally, this one, so everything okay. About commit messages, just a second, where is my assessment? Here's our assessment criteria. I can see that in this assessment criteria for this application, we don't have any aspect for checking commits or for checking branches in our version control system. But often in our assessment criteria, we also have them. For example, that commit messages have a normal information about the changes. For example, commit will name like not fixes, like often we have this, or for example, updates or a new one or etc. So commit message will show what changes competitor done with this commit, like created our sign-in window or some another thing. So it's very important too. I think that we don't have aspects for commits and branches here because it was a short test project for one session, if I remember, and it was very fast, and because of that we don't have any additional aspects for it, but often we have. And also in the test project description, we also ask competitor to add additional branch for every session. For example, session 1, session 3, and etc. It's very useful for experts to navigate between sessions because, for example, even they need to have a chance to go back for another session, and because of that, we ask competitors to add naming for sessions in a version control system. So next one, about the icons. We think that using icon is very important for application because while user sees a list of applications and see the default icon, it's not very good, and we want for that our competitors can create production applications. And in every production application, we also need to have icon. Because of that, we often have a requirements for adding application icon for test project. And of course, we've got additional aspect for it. Mm-hmm. No, there. Yeah. And about the font family, we need to check it. With font families, experts have some problems. For example, if we try to compare the font in our layouts and in our application, it seems that titles correctly used middle font family. But I think, or I'm wrong, I guess that the font family in a subtitle is wrong, or maybe not. Yeah, it's wrong. You can see that question character not same as in the layout. So we can see that the wrong font family maybe. And in this case, because we don't sure it's normal or not font family, we need to go to source code to check it. Maybe sometimes it's not the right version, not right position to go to source code, but we need to make assessment objective, and we must be sure that competitor used, for example, right font family. And it's, I guess, in this screen. And where is this logo, the image about it? No, you can see that here we have a regular allergy sans font family, and it's provided in our resources here. So maybe it's problem with using with rendering and etc. So we see that competitor used normal font family. But by the way, we can see the question character, yeah, and they're not same. But we can see in code that everything okay with the font family. So we can put full mark here. Oh. The next problem is to assess splash screen because it's really fast. Sometimes you can see that we can see all elements. Because of that, even we need to go to source code to check the splash screen elements. For example, maybe you remember yesterday I told you that it's important to check if every element is like not a screenshot or one big screen. So we need to add this one as a logo in the center screen as a one user element. Oh, you can see that we've got a shadow, a lightning shadow, yeah. And we need to check it. So for that, we also need to go to source code, find it, and check. Even if, for example, in Android, competitors have another issue. Maybe you know, in Android you don't have default instruments for create splash screen. You need to create additional activity, then with a timer or another things, you need to change this activity to a main activity or another activity. And many competitors, for example, don't know how to make a timer or how to make change activity after a few seconds and etc. And while we run application, we just see activity with splash screen and nothing else. And many experts think that there are no functions, no screens after this one. But often we need just click to our screen and activity will change, because many competitors just know how to change activity by clicking to a buttons. And because of that, we need to click and then we can see another results. And so it's two important thing. And for example, if we need to change, if we need to click for a screen for changing activity, for changing splash screen for another activity, I think we can put here 0. But if activity, if splash screen changed automatically, so we can put full mark here. Very interesting additional thing, even it's hard to assess it, but it's very important, I think. While competitor works with the server, there can be some problems with the server side or with the request and etc. For example, if server crashed, broken, is server on fire and etc., there can be problems with connection. Of course, competitor need to handle connection to a server. Or for example, if competitor trying to get resources from a server that needs to have authorization tokens or another things, and of course, competitor needs show message for user about that he need to go to sign in or sign up and create account. And so, of course, computer need know how to handle server errors, logic errors, and etc. Because I think you agree with me that crashes, it's very bad. For example, if there's some error and application crash, so we can check it. We can try to enter to file airplane mode. Oh, we can do it, I guess. Or we can do it. I didn't remember. Where it can be. Look, Siri. Oh, we don't need Siri. Indentation. Okay, try to go to settings. Yeah, we don't have. I don't remember. Can we turn on airplane? Yeah. Okay, it's so sad, because I remember that we can do it on our Android emulators, but there are problems in iOS. So yeah, I can turn off Wi-Fi and go to drink coffee because everything is well gone. So by the way, while we testing competitors test project, we also try to turn off connection to internet and try to check is this errors handled by a computer or not? Because our mobile phones also used in places where we don't have any connection to internet, for example, in elevators, in metro, and etc. Okay, so I don't know it's handled or not. We can check it because of that I place 0 for this computer for save time. And here you can see aspects for onboarding screen. And if I run application now, I can see this onboarding screen because I'm sign in, and I can't go to a profile. Oh, here. Yeah, I can remove, exit. Yeah, you can see onboarding screen now. So we need to find 6 elements, and here we also have the list of these elements, like a background, logo, name, and text elements, and text files, and 2 buttons. So background, logo, 1 text, two text file, 1 button, and I guess this one is like a button. So if we see the layout that provided by us, I think that they're the same, but we have some maybe not same sizes of logo, proportional, not same proportionals with the logo, with the margin between title and subtitle, and maybe the wrong font family, font size, and etc. And so experts must think it's okay or not, and then they need to put the mark, it's okay or not. So I guess that everything okay. Maybe the text sizes is the same, like from this device, but here we have a little little device layout, like just 300 for way. So I think it's okay. For example, here's okay. Next one, when you click on login in account button, authorization screen opens, and about register, the same thing. Let's check it. Register. Yeah, in our test project description, we asked competitor to use an empty screen for register. It's okay, but you can see that here we see the wrong margins from a safe area. Maybe you know that in iOS guidelines of layout of application, we need to make some margin from a bottom of screen, and this button, this back button, may be more upper from a bottom side. So I think we can think that it's problem. Okay, so everything works. We've got navigation. So for registration screen, we have that. We've got empty screen for that, for navigating. We also can put mark for this one. And about authorization and etc. So I think that it was the last screen that we will assess with you, because we need to save your time. So we need to check is authorization request is implemented or not. First of all, the easiest way to check it, to try to put the wrong values for files, check, okay, it's not worked. Then we try to add accounts for experts. For example, general, it's account for experts that we created for testing. and before, competitors didn't know that we will have this account, and so they can't hard code this email address, for example, in code for checking if we have this email go to a main screen and etc. So we have this account, try to enter, and it will work. So I'm sure because we tested before. And okay, request, it works. But if we don't sure about that, it works or not, of course, we need to go to source code, find it. For example, it's about the sign-in view. We need to check where is it, button click or etc. We can see label enter. Oh, we can see the code for logic. So we can see the AUF sign-in, jump to definition. Yeah, it works. So it uses normal address and everything. So it works. Okay. And you can see that it's very important that this computer used normal names for the files, for classes, and etc. And it was easy to find what we need, because we can see sign-in view, registration view, and etc. And we've got the structure of the files, and it's very good, I think. Yeah. And often in our assessment criteria, we also have aspects about the structure, that every type of files or every screens, or maybe in another way, the structure on the folders. And we check the names for files. For example, a registration view must named like a registration view and etc. And the second additional thing, for example, in Android, often computers add buttons and used default names of elements, like a button 2, button, and etc. And it's wrong too, because in the code then we've got some codes like a button, I didn't remember. In a Kotlin, we've got another way, like I didn't place the view binding. Okay, by the way, where is it? Why it's broke? Hey, where's my code window? Oh, here it is. So, by the way, we see the names of elements like button 1, button 2, and etc. And for experts, it's hard to understand, and for professional work, it's very bad, because programming, in most cases, it's about the teamwork. And if another teammate sees these names for 50 elements, it's awful. And because of that, we have additional aspects for naming variables, classes, files, and etc. So where is this? Where? Here, and yeah, this one. So we need to check 7 elements: background, logo, name, to text files, to buttons. So let's to check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I pressed enter. Okay. So we've got 7 elements. It's okay. It works. And maybe I can see the wrong using of logo. I need to check it. Yeah, you can see that here in the main screen, logo without the shadow, without the lightning shadow. But here, if you remember, in a splash screen, we've got the shadow. we can see it here, yeah. So, and we see that competitor for this screen, for main screen, use the shadowed logo. It's wrong too. And I think that we can remove some points later from the main screen for this element. So experts need be more carefully while they're checking competitors' test project. Next one, where is it? Validating for empty files. It's okay, it's clear, I think, about the checking email, about checking email with the content, with the task. In the tasks, we have only one rule for current tasks, that we need to check email for a @ symbol. So we also can check it. I don't know why we put so big point for this. I think it's wrong. I think that the maximum mark is maybe 0.1 for that. So here's everything okay. And next one, when application is restarted, the user successful authorization saved. So it works too. I authorize now. I close application and I authorize it. So it works. And in the same strategy, we can assess another screens. But I think that now for you, it's clear how we assess competitors' test project. And if you need, I can send your link for this Figma, link for the assessment criteria for this application, and maybe you can test it, you can train, etc. So maybe you have questions about assessment before we go to the next part. I think that we can make little break for 10 minutes, for example. And then we will go to another part about additional model of our skill. So let's go back at 10:12 by Moscow time after 9 minutes. So I hope that everyone's here. Just a second. So next one, it's about the presentations. Can you give me again feedback about my about my voice and about screen? Because yeah, great, thank you. So the next important part for our skill, for our competitors, for this knowledge, it's about the presenting their works. It's about the communicating with their experts, with another competitors, with their orderers, clients, and etc. And for that, like in like in the skill number 9, it's IT solutions for business. We also have a model for presenting results. As I told before, we think that it's very important to train our students to showing this result. I don't know how in other countries, in your countries, for example, but in our country, students in ending of learning in universities or colleges, they're preparing this project and trying to show it for some group of people, for experts, and it's very important to present it normally. Don't be shy, and say everything right. Don't read text from a paper like ministers and etc. So, and because of that, we added this model. And while experts assessed this presentation, we need to divide all presentations for 2 parts. First, it's about slides, for example. Yeah, you can see slides. And second part, it's about the speech, about the everything that competitor physically do, like as I told, speech, like his hands and everything. So let's talk about the presentation. In presentation, we assessed few aspects. For example, first one. Where is not? Hey. Why I can't zoom it? Like this. Yeah. Now I guess it's okay. First one, it's about the style of presentation. For example, if we've got the style guide for our application, I think that it will be good if presentation will be in the same style, in the same colors, for example, as application. Or for example, our slides will be in one style. Not, for example, this one will be in red colors, this one with another font like this, and etc. Of course, it's very wrong. So a presentation must be in one style. Like if colors just a black for a background, I think it's in everywhere will be black. Oh, I can't remove. Oh, yeah. Or for example, it can be white in sometimes because of images and etc. So the where's my note? Yeah, style. It's about the background. It's about the fonts, colors, and text sizes. For example, many competitors use not same texts and sizes and etc. for titles, for example. They can be like this one in one slide. In another slide, it can be another size of title and etc. And of course, it's very wrong, and we need to check it. Next additional thing, often the content on a slide. Oh, just a second. It's just, for example, often in the slides, the header and some title and content not placed on the one lines. And when we change slides, we can see that headers are jumping from a rows, and of course it's too bad. So we also try to assess this one thing, because we don't need to see this effect while computer changes slides. Positions. Next one, it's about the main elements in a slide. We think that every presentation must have some title slide, about what this presentation, like this one, a slide for like a hello slide, like a title slide for day 5 and etc. We think that it's very important. And next one, we of course need to have the ending slide of presentation. Don't like you show presentation and then it's over with a black screen or the ending. I think that we need to something like thank you slide, about the contact slide, or questions and answer, which can be used like a image for a long question and answer session and etc. So we also must know that slides are ended. And next one, next one, we try to check content on the slides. For example, we think that every slide with a text with a new new section must have a title. For example, you must know that this one on a slide, it's plan. You know that it's plan because I have a title, our plan, and our plan for today. So, and if I don't have any title, and you don't, I think you will not have an idea for that I wrote these lines, for example, yeah? And we think that every slide must have a plan. Oh, sorry, plan, of course, but I'm about title. And maybe in presentations, when we show interface of application or many information like charts, like images and etc., we need to have a page number, because in a session of question and answers, often people say, can you back to slide number 5, for example, because I have some question on it. And so for knowing number of slide, of course, we need to have a slide number here. You can see that I not have a slide number, but I think that we don't need to go back to slides in our presentation, and because of that, I don't have a number of slides. And next one, it was a bit important. I think not content. It was about important elements on a slide. Next one, we check the content on a slide. It's very subjective to check to assess content on a slide. But for example, I need to get some text, for example, news in Russia. I think I just need to get some text. Where is this? Where? None. Where is all text? I placed many texts here. And where is it all? Here. By the way, in many cases, in competitors or student slides, we've got many text, many content, like this one, yeah. But we use presentations for showing main information about the speech that competitor will say. So, and when we see slide with many text, we think it's very bad. And of course, we check it all. Where is this? Where is the? I don't see. While I have a white color on the background of text, so yeah, okay, it's not matters. So I just want to put the many text. So, and of course, it's very bad if we have many text. First one, yeah, not many text. And next one is that we, not we, experts or another people can read this text. For example, if we show this presentation on a screen, on a big screen, I don't sure that everyone can read all this text because it's very little and etc. So of course it's very wrong. And so text size for content. It's also can be here and be here. Okay, I think it's clear about the text on the slide. And the last thing about the content on the slide, we also have these problems with the competitors too. While they use images, often, how I can do it. I don't sure that I can do it in I can show. Okay, where is my Figma? So while competitor places the images on the slides, they can be like again. Just a second. No. Fill. It's fill too, yeah. Interesting thing. Yeah, well, like this. You can see that when competitors try to change the sizes of images, they can be with wrong proportions, and of course it's too bad. And because of that, we need to check that competitor changed the size of images normally in presentation. But keynote from Apple don't give me the chance to change proportions very bad. So I can do it. Maybe I can do it. No. Okay. So and maybe the last thing about the presentation is that we don't have some text on the images, because even it can be readable. Yeah, maybe here it's okay a little bit, but in some cases it's very bad, and so we also try to check it all. Okay. Next part, it's about speech of competitor. This was about presentation slides. And next part about speech. So what we need to check, for example, in our Russian competitions, is that competitor don't read everything from a paper from another way. So maybe you know that many people who don't have any experience in communication with a room with many people, they often open the page with something with text and just sitting and reading it without the eye connection with another people. And of course it's wrong. So competitor doesn't read all from paper, for example. So we think that it's very important that competitor will know about that he want to say in presentation. He must remember that information that he want to give us. And of course it's normally if competitor not often go to a paper to trying to remember something, to get new information, or to read some little text, for example, quote and etc. But in many times, I think it's very good if competitor will work with people that trying to listen speech of this competitor. Second one, that we have eye connection with the people. Maybe you also know many people can to look to another people's eyes, and it can be problems with health, with psychology and etc. But many students just don't have this experience, and while they are working with people, they're trying to look to a floor, to walls, for windows and etc. And I think it's too bad, because while you're working with some group of people, you need to trying to look for them, because you need to get this connection with eyes, to get this channel for transferring information from your head to another head. So we also put the marks for this, because with these rules from word skills from our skill, these rules goes to colleges, and in our colleges, teachers trying to teach students to know how to do these slides, how to make good speech, and etc. And so next one, that I think every one of us, maybe of you, have this problem that even we've got harmful, how it's harmful, I don't remember how it's wrong. Harmful, yeah. Sorry for my English. We have some harmful words, or sometimes we can do something like a and etc. And of course it's too bad. And we're trying to ask our students don't have some harmful words in the presentations, on the speech, and etc. We also check it. And the last things that we check, it's maybe we think that it's very important, and maybe it's not necessary to put them in assessment, but we put it because we think it's we think that we don't have the things in our students. For example, it's just I need to remember. Yeah, it's about the greeting and ending of presentation. Maybe you remember about the slides. I showed you that we need to add ending slide because people must know that slides end. And like in the slides, we also need to know that competitor or student or another person ends his speech. Like I said, okay, that's all, or thank you for attention, and etc. Because in many our competitions, while we assessed competitors on presentations, for example, competitor said about his project, he tells something, and then he paused and nothing tells, and experts and competitor waiting something like without any words, and we don't understand. Competitor trying to remember something, to tell something, or he ends his presentation or not. So we think that it's very important to make the ending of presentation and to make some greeting about that, about saying about what it was presentation and etc. You can see that we have some our standards for presenting. Of course, it's not excellent things. And for example, if you have additional things about what we can add to the standards, we also can add them. We will be very glad to share our experience with you, and we will be happy if you can share your experience with us, because for us it's very important to make our skill really international, with international standards, with international competitions, because it's very interesting. And I hope that viruses will not disallow to do it. And so maybe you have some questions about presentations and etc. Should we create one? Yeah. For what we create presentation? Thank you for a question. In our test project description, we ask competitor to make presentation for one model. For example, I want to show you again. Just a second. Where is it? Like this one. Maybe you remember yesterday or day earlier, I said that in one model we asked competitor to make this interesting thing like a preview for a video with some actions, with some slide effects and etc. And for example, in this test project description, we asked competitor make presentation just for this component, for this library. In another types, we ask competitor to make presentation for full app, like showing what he created on all sessions and etc. For showing technologies that he used, maybe show some issues that he had, and etc. And next one, We can also ask competitor to make presentation for a future project, for example, that he can create, or for example, for additional screens that can be created for this project that he created. So you can see that we have many types of presentations that competitor can show, and every time in different test projects for competitions, we have different tasks for presentations, and competitor create presentation only on one session, so we don't need every time create slides and etc. Our skill not about presenting, our skill about coding, about developing, and etc. And so for create presentation, for create slides, we just have 2 hours for this. So I hope that I answered for your question. Maybe you have additional questions. So, before we go to our ending of our camp, our organizers and Anna want to say for you something. Anna, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Great. Our guest yours.
Thank you. Let me please share my screen. So can you see it?
Yeah.
Dear friends, I'm very glad to see you. Thank you for being with us with our experts team all this wonderful week. I hope it was very effective, and I hope that you developed your skills a lot. And I want to say that this training, this training was not just a training, it was a part of preparation program for online friendly competition game, online friendly skills game, sorry. And to register to this competition, to this game, you need to know the following information. First of all, the dates. Let us announce the dates. Games in mobile applications development will start on the 2nd of August and will be held till the 5th. Each country can register no more than one team per each skill, but we will have 2 wave registration, and if we have 3 quarters after this first wave that will end on the 30th of June, we will allow you to register more teams from a country. Cutoff date age is 25 years old. And now concerning the registration itself, we have 2 options. If your country is WorldSkills Asia member country, you have technical delegate. You should ask your technical delegate if your country is WorldSkills Asia member, and then you should ask him or her to register you via this website. You can see it on the screen. Each technical delegate has personal account, and through this account, he or she needs to register you. Our colleagues from WorldSkills Asia shared with us a guideline. I will share it in our Telegram chat so you can read it and follow all the steps. And if your country is not a member of WorldSkills Asia, you will need just fill in Excel form as you did it before this camp and send it to my email. Here you can see it, and of course I will share this presentation in our Telegram chat too. So save the date of the end of the registration, first wave. The second wave will be till the 7th of July, but we will announce it later because we need to know if we have 3 quarters after this first wave. So is everything clear? Should I repeat something, or do you have another questions? Okay, I can see. there is no questions yet, but if you have them later, please ask in our Telegram chat and we will answer you. And we also prepared certificates for you, certificates for participation. I mean, shall we share it now, or you will add something and we will share the certificates after that?
I think we can share them now because I think I have a last slide. For me, it's about contacts and the ending. So I think that you can share them now. It will be better.
Okay, then thank you very much for this training, for your work. And I will share all certificates in our Telegram chat. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, the question about certificates, I think.
Asia Festival. Oh, I'm not sure because our colleagues from WorldSkills Asia named this event Online Friendly Skills Game. I will check this information about Asia Festival and answer you in Telegram chat, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, for organization. This all. Thank you very much. I'm happy again work with you all. So, okay, I can continue. I can continue ending of our camp. So I think that in this short week, we've got a chance to share some interesting experience about the assessment, about test project, about automatic assessment with our technologies, new technologies. And I hope that you will have new knowledge about our skill and you can run our skill in your country. And of course, if you will have questions or problems with it, you also can see my data for contact in about any questions. And our team, Sergey and Lydia, also, of course, can help you with everything. So maybe you have some questions about anything, I don't know. Okay, thank you for your feedback and thank you for your thanks. So if you need some materials for your competitions in your countries, you can also ask us, and of course we can help you with anything. Infrastructure list, technical descriptions, test projects, and etc. So we can share it with you. So maybe I need to wait a half minute for your questions. Maybe someone of you have something. Okay. By the way, you can ask questions in Telegram, and so I hope that you're happy that you've got new information and happy that everything ends. So I hope that we all can meet with you in August in our competition, and we will prepare for you interesting test project and some technologies about automatic tests and etc. And we will share additional experience with you. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here. Oh, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hey, there's a life, there are real voices. Okay.